Our reporter Daniel Wilson joins us now from the newsroom. How surprising was this vote, Daniel?
Bethan, this is very surprising, undoubtedly one of the most dramatic days in the Senate's 17-year history. Now, the 60 new elected AMs arrived in Cardiff Bay this morning for what seemed to be a very formal meeting to try and elect Carwyn Jones as the new First Minister. That was certainly what was expected to happen, but it's come down to Plaid Cymru's leader, Leanne Wood, who spoilt Labour's party. Both candidates received 29 votes each, and the Senedd is now in deadlock.
And how did Leanne Wood get so much support in the Assembly?
Well, Plaid Cymru won 12 seats at last Thursday's elections, meaning they had 11 other AMs to back their leader for the top job. So they needed support from other parties. And it was that surprise backing from the 11 Conservative AMs and the new 7 UKIP AMs, which gave her those 29 votes. In fact, it came down to Kirsty Williams, the Welsh Liberal Democrat leader, to give her backing for Mr Jones that gave the Labour Party their 29 votes. I've been speaking to people in Cardiff this afternoon to see what they think, who they think may make a better First Minister. The consensus, surprisingly, seems to be with Leanne Wood. Many people saying that she provides real change for Wales, that she could tackle the issues that are really affecting the country, especially steel, which the Labour Party, many people say, have failed to deal with in recent months.
So what happens next, Dan?
Well, AMs have until the 2nd of June to elect a new First Minister. That's just 3 weeks away. Now, both parties will be pushing for every vote they can get, because that's how close it is. We're hearing today that UKIP, its leader Nathan Gill, and Mark Reckless are considering switching back to Mr Jones, supporting him if the Labour Party can agree to support scrapping the 7 bridge tolls. But of course, if no decision is made by the 2nd of June, then we could face a new election. But of course, speaking to people in Cardiff this afternoon, that doesn't seem as though it'll be a popular decision.
No, indeed. Dan Wilson, thank you very much.
This is just a small example of the amount of food donated to this cafe on a daily basis. It's food that would have otherwise been thrown away because it can't be sold by retailers. But now supermarkets are doing something about that.
The cafe gets most its food from this Morrison's store in Llanishen, which, like many other supermarkets, wastes huge amounts of food every year. The store donates everything from food in broken tins to fresh fruit and veg. Denise works with local communities to help reduce the amount the store throws away. Cardiff is a very diverse city. There are 11,000 Muslims living here, but that can sometimes cause problems. Amanda Morris is a volunteer with an outreach team that promotes racial equality, but despite this, she still faces discrimination because of her faith.
I haven't experienced anything violent, but I've been shouted at. I've had comments made to me. I've had people come up to me and quite blatantly tell me that they think that I'm going to go and burn in hell forever because I don't accept their particular religion.
Amanda says the majority of people she works with have experienced some kind of racial prejudice. The Commission for Islam has been in Cardiff to talk to Muslims about why they feel isolated in society. The Vale of Glamorgan Council weren't available for interview, but in a statement they said, "Our goal remains for the huts to be enjoyed by as many visitors to the resort as possible. We also need to ensure that the huts generate enough money to cover their ongoing maintenance."
A decision over the future of these huts could be made when the Vale of Glamorgan Council meet on Monday, but the local authority insists no options are off the table to make sure they're profitable this year. Daniel Wilson, CJS News, Barry Island.
Good afternoon, welcome to CJS News at 1:15. I'm Daniel Wilson. The body of a missing man from Cardiff has been found on a beach in southern England. Aled Smith, who's from Roath, was last seen in the city on Thursday afternoon. The 21-year-old was found at Beachy Head near Eastbourne. South Wales police say his death is not being treated as suspicious. Plaid Cymru have criticised Andrew Davies's decision to support leaving the EU. The leader of the Welsh Conservatives owns a farm near Cowbridge and he says farmers would benefit. Jacob Ellis reports.
Well, after a wet and windy weekend, the weather has now calmed down. Today has been much drier, lighter winds, plenty of sunshine, and that's allowed temperatures up at 9 degrees. Tonight, though, clear skies will be cold and frosty, temperatures down at -2. But tomorrow, much of the same, more sunshine, and that's expected to continue for the rest of the week. Back to the studio.